Hello, welcome to UZREPORT.NEWS. I'm Bahram Gaffarov. The Federation of Consumer Protection Societies has revealed the cost of medical masks sold in pharmacies in Uzbekistan. As the coronavirus outbreak continues to spread across the world, prices for medical masks have increased dramatically. No medical masks can be found today at some 60% of Tashkent pharmacies. Pharmacies that still have masks in their reserves have increased their prices up to tenfold. If before the virus outbreak the price per mask was some 5 cents, today consumers have to pay up to 50 cents. In some regions, the price may be less, but it's still difficult to find them on sale at all. Meanwhile, the press service of Agency for the Development of the Pharmaceutical Industry of Uzbekistan said that medical masks are produced in sufficient quantities. All 15 enterprises in the Republic that produce such products are currently operating at full capacity. Last week, Uzbekistan evacuated its citizens from China via 3 charter flights. All passengers were placed at a special hospital for the purpose of conducting medical supervision for 14 days. The press service of Ministry of Health published a message saying that citizens are satisfied with the conditions created. On February 4th, 250 citizens who arrived from Beijing were placed in Bustan Sanatorium. The Minister of Health said it has involved specialists who have received professional training in accordance with the established procedure. Measures are being taken to take the temperature of citizens on the civilians. Medical inspection is carried out twice a day. Polish border guards detained citizens of Azerbaijan and Ukraine and 1 Polish woman in connection with their participation in an organized criminal group that, through fictitious employment, organized the illegal residence in Poland of more than 500 illegal immigrants from other countries. Polish radio Dla Siebie reports the group used fake companies to organize the fictitious employment of at least 537 foreigners, including those from Azerbaijan, Russia, Georgia, Ukraine, Turkey, Pakistan, Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan. Criminal schemes allowed the group to earn money and obtain residence permits and work permits for illegal immigrants in Poland. Tourism is one of the driving sectors of Uzbek economy. The local company Ground Zero and the State Committee for the Tourism organized a training on the development of unique tourist products and services under the slogan New Uzbekistan for Tourism, Create, Surprise and Earn. This training opens up great opportunities for those who want to set up their business without major investments.
Tourism is one of the driving sectors of Uzbekistan's economy. The local company Ground Zero and the State Committee for Tourism organized a training course on the development of unique tourist products and services. This training opens up great opportunities for those who want to set up their businesses without major investments. According to the organizers, it is planned to create an online platform to sell tours and promote services, and all information will be available in English. Uzbekistan has been attracting younger generation of travelers. Now we have tourists coming from new countries, the people who want to see not only beautiful archaeological sites, but also, for example, to cook Uzbek pilaf, learn our national dances or see the Ika dyeing process. In other words, there is a need in completely new tourist activities. During the 2-day workshop, we want to produce at least 20 new tourist products, which then these participants would be able to offer in the market. We do not just generate ideas, but help them shape ideas in the form of specific projects. 3 most successful candidates will receive prizes from the State Committee for Tourism. The workshop participants had an opportunity to learn about new global trends in the tourism sector, tools for creating tourist products, and social media marketing tools from international and domestic experts. It's been 3 years now since we have started actively engaging in the development and selling of new tourist products. We've launched 3 very popular tourist products such as city walking tours, a specialized Suleiman tour walking tour, and a food tour. These kind of tours provide visitors with truly memorable experiences.
President Shavkat Mirziyoyev pardoned 58 people who committed crimes in ignorance, who have sincerely repented on what they did and firmly embarked on the path of correction. Abdusattar Kadyrov was among those pardoned. After a series of bombings that occurred in February 1999 in Tashkent, Kadyrov was sentenced to long-term imprisonment. He was found to be involved in the events of February 16, 1999. Having joined a radical group seeking to destabilize Uzbekistan, Kadyrov obeyed the orders of gangs leaders and distributed extremist leaflets. We often say that a lot of work is being done in Uzbekistan to develop tourism. However, much still remains to be done in this area. The International Press Club's recent session was about tourism development plans.
Transformation of tourism into a strategic area of the economy is one of the most pressing challenges today. The session participants spoke not only about the development of the sector, but also about the creation of new jobs. According to international statistics, to handle one tourist, we need to create jobs in 2 tourism-related industries. This includes transportation, hotels, logistics, restaurants. These are all new jobs. Speaking about the legislative aspects, Alisher Kadyrov, the chairman of the Milli Tiklanish Democratic Party, emphasized the urgent need to develop tourism infrastructure as the basis for developing tourism. The issue of tourism development was included in the Milli Tiklanish Party's earlier election program as the most pressing one. But at that time, it was about the support of the 2 largest national providers, Uzbekistan Airways and Uzbekistan Railways. Now the party believes that these 2 monopolistic companies should be demonopolized. If we do not promote competition in the tourism sector, we will not be able to solve one of the most important problems. There are 3 such problems: infrastructure, customer service and personnel training, and transportation. Alisher Kadyrov also spoke about the development of domestic tourism. For example, when tourists arrive in Uzbekistan and they want to see Chankala and Khwarezm, how long will it take them to buy a plane ticket? For example, China is a huge country, but if you want to go to even the remote province, you can buy a ticket within 15 minutes and it will cost you no more than $50. And China can be an example of a country where domestic tourism is developed. Or take, for example, Turkey. You can easily buy an inexpensive ticket there to visit the most remote corner of the country. But in Uzbekistan, when guests arrive to see Khwarezm, Samarkand or Bukhara, their first arrival destination would be Tashkent. And only after a few days they can get a ticket to the city they initially were going to visit. And we have not been able to create a competitive environment in this area. Abdulaziz Akulov, first deputy chairman of the State Committee for Tourism Development, spoke about the development of various tourism destinations in Uzbekistan. In particular, he noted the high tourist potential of 120 villages in the country. According to our estimates, some 120 villages definitely have a tourist potential today, which means tourists will be able to stay there for 2-3 days. 23 villages will be brought in line with the required standards, and they will have developed infrastructure before the end of the year and will be able to welcome tourists. The speaker also mentioned about ecotourism and the problems existing in this area. If, for example, you go to the Gisar Mountains to visit the Gisar National Reserve, then there are not even visiting centers there. There is no inventory of existing issues, while there are lots of problems. The biggest one of which is it is forbidden to drive vehicles in the protected nature reserves. There must be an eco-guide who knows well not only biology but also speaks languages. Another issue is cultivating the ecotourism manners. According to the representative of the Ministry of Transport, who also participated in the session, the purchase of 600 buses and 2 high-speed trains is planned for 2020. He also mentioned about the launch of new 107 local and 12 international bus services. At the same time, it is planned to increase the number of bus routes that will connect all regions. At the end of the session, we spoke to the chairman of the Gastronomic Tourism Association of Uzbekistan, set up recently to develop gastronomic tourism in the country. Our main goal by the end of 2020 to attract more tourists for gastronomic tourism and increase the ranking of Uzbekistan in this area of tourism industry. We have a lot to do to reach this goal. The gastro-tourist is neither interested in pilgrimage nor in sightseeing. He discovers cuisines, tastes delicious dishes, writes down their recipes and some facts related to the history of a particular cuisine. But all of that needs the infrastructure to be created. Uzbekistan has a high tourist potential. Reducing the transport costs and hotel prices would surely result in increasing the number of tourists.
On February 7, 2020, Energy Minister Alisher Sultanov held talks with a delegation of Saudi Arabia, headed by the chairman of the board, Mohammed Abu Nayan. The sides discussed the progress of joint projects and the prospects to further cooperate. A joint project between the Ministry of Energy and ACWA Power provides for the construction of 2 combined cycle gas plants in Sirzaria region. As part of the new project, ACWA Power intends to invest some $1 billion. Uzbekistan's State Committee for Tourism Development has proposed to launch the silver and gold bars. According to the draft presidential decree worked out by the Tourism Committee, it's planned to start production of gold and silver bars weighing between 1.3 and 5 grams. They will be sold through vending machines. If the draft is approved, the first vendors will appear by July the 1st at tourist sites in Bukhara, Samarkand, Khorizm, Tashkent region and the capital. According to the decree of President Shavkat Mirziyoyev, Ravshan Ermatov was appointed First Deputy Minister for Sports. At the same time, Ermatov will retain the position of First Vice President of Football Association. Elbek Shukurov was appointed Deputy Minister. The Ministry of Sport of Uzbekistan held its extraordinary session on February 8. Abdujabbar Abduvahidov, advisor to the President, in his address underlined reforms in Uzbekistan in the field of development of sports. In the framework of the session, according to presidential decree, Ravshan Ermatov was appointed First Deputy Minister of Sport and Elbek Shukurov Deputy Minister. Ermatov has been a full international referee for FIFA since 2003. He is considered one of the elite referees in the world. He was named the best referee in Asia in 4 consecutive years and was selected to officiate the final match of both 2008 and 2011 FIFA Club World Cup. Ermatov was selected as a referee at the 2013 FIFA Confederations Cup on December 27th in 2015 at the Global Soccer Award ceremony in Dubai. Ravshan Ermatov was named as the best referee of the year. On the 31st December 2015, he received an award for outstanding services, and on the 4th March 2016, Ermatov was named referee of the year in Uzbekistan by Football Federation for the 10th time, according to the survey results among sports journalists. The International Solidarity Weightlifting Championship is underway these days in Tashkent. Following first day results, Uzbekistan's Muattar Nabiyeva won first medal. In the weight category up to 55 kilograms, she managed to lift 200 kilograms in the overall standing and won 3 silver medals. The gold medal in this weight category went to Kristina Shemetova from Turkmenistan. Grand Islam 2020 was underway in Paris on February 8 and 9. About 740 athletes from 115 countries attended the competitions, including judges from Uzbekistan. Our country was represented by 14 athletes. According to the press service of National Olympic Committee of Uzbekistan, Hikmatullah Turayev won a bronze medal, defeating the Turkish judoka Bilal Çolologlu in less than 10 seconds. Another athlete, Sharafuddin Boltaboyev, won silver as his rival from Belgium lost on points.
Millions of people across China are returning to work as an extended holiday for the Chinese Lunar New Year, also known as Spring Festival, ending on Sunday. The National Railway authorities expect 17 to 23 million trips per day next week. Beijing and Shanghai have already seen an influx of over 1 million travelers so far as migrant workers return to work. There was a sharp decline in trips made over the Chinese New Year holiday this year due to the outbreak of the novel coronavirus pneumonia, which has already killed 908 people in the country. The Ministry of Transport said there were just over 11 million trips on the Lantern Festival on Saturday, 84% fewer than the same time of the last year. In the last 30 days, nearly 1.4 billion trips have been made, down 40% from the same period of last year.
And the Oscar goes to Parasite.
Parasite, a dark social satire from South Korea, won the Oscar for the Best Picture on Sunday, making history as the first film in a language other than English to claim the movie industry's highest honor. Parasite, about the gap between rich and poor in modern Seoul, won a total of 4 Oscars, including Best Director and Original Screenplay for Bong Joon-ho and Best International Feature Film. No film had ever won both International Feature Film and Best Picture at the Oscars. The acting Oscars went as expected. Joaquin Phoenix won Best Actor for playing a failing clone who finds fame through violence in the dark comic book tale Joker, and Renée Zellweger was named Best Actress for her performance as an Agent Judy Garland in the musical biopic Judy. Laura Dern took the Supporting Actress Oscar, her first Academy Award for playing a ruthless divorce lawyer in Marriage Story. Tarantino's sentimental ode to Tinseltown, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, brought the first Asian Oscar for Brad Pitt, who played a supporting role as a laid-back stuntman.
So far, this has been all the news we intended to share with you today. Thank you for watching. Stand by.